The man was the youngest doctor in the hospital, but every day during work, he would play on his phone. Even if the other doctors saw it, they would just pretend not to notice. And the reason the man was so special was because he was the best chief surgeon in the whole country. With his unique skill, the magic divine needle, any difficult illness could be easily cured by him. And just today, the man had just finished a surgery that none of the other doctors could handle. He simply used the magic divine needle and easily brought the patient back. He earned the praise of everyone, but the man did not take a rest. Instead, he immediately threw himself back into work. At that time, the little girl with leukemia he had just treated had to go for a checkup. So she handed her unfinished game to the man and told him to make sure she didn't lose the match. The man promised the girl. But unexpectedly, just as he took the phone, he was seen by Susan, the newly appointed hospital director. She was very angry. She immediately smashed the man's phone and accused him of slacking off during work hours. She refused to listen to his explanation and insisted on firing him. And Dr. Jack, standing nearby, saw this and felt very proud. Because he was very jealous of the man's talent, he had long wanted the man to leave the hospital, so he urged the man to leave right away. The surrounding doctors wanted to explain for the man, but as soon as they spoke, Jack interrupted them. He would never let Susan know the truth about the man's great medical skills. He even went so far as to slander that they had taken bribes from the man, and that was why they defended him. Susan became even angrier. She called them parasites of the hospital and bluntly said she didn't want to see them in the hospital tomorrow. Susan's attitude made the man very angry. He directly took off his coat and prepared to leave the hospital, but he still reminded Jack that the patient from the surgery just now had a risk of relapse. He told Jack to pay attention, but Jack only wanted to drive the man out of the hospital. He didn't care at all about his reminder. His arrogant attitude made the man so angry that he left the hospital immediately. Because she thought she had successfully expelled the hospital's parasite, Susan returned to her office feeling very proud. But just then, Anna, a shareholder of the hospital, called Susan and told her that the core doctors in the hospital's core team must never be fired. She also said that just now, one of these core doctors had saved her father, Tom, but Tom had forgotten the doctor's name. So she wanted Susan to properly reward the doctor who saved her father. Susan immediately agreed, saying she would promote him and give him a raise. After hanging up the phone, Susan immediately told her assistant to bring the doctor's files. That was when she discovered that the man who had just left the hospital was actually part of the core team. Susan then felt confused. Could it be that the man's medical skills were truly extraordinary? This discovery made Susan feel embarrassed. She didn't want to admit that she had made a mistake. But then she noticed that Jack was also in this core team. Thinking that the hospital's core doctor must have been the one who just saved Tom, she concluded that the core doctor Anna mentioned was Jack. Because just this morning, when she had just entered the hospital, she saw Jack coming out of the operating room. Jack told her that he was the chief surgeon of that operation. Therefore,